Hello guys, so actually this is Ram Nivas and welcome to Genius Education IAS YouTube channel. So actually I'm going to start climatology section for you because the climatology is the most important factor and you can say most important part of the geography section. Okay, so this series of the climatology is going to be very fruitful for you and for your examination point of view. It could be your you can say it can be your one day examination and it can be UPSC examination. So actually climatic classification of the world, in this chapter we are going to discuss all these topics one by one and we are going to understand all these topics. What is ITCZ, what is Coriolis force, okay, and what are the pressure belts, what is the classification of these pressure belts, thermally induced, dynamically induced, and what are the planetary winds, Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So all these topics are going to be very fruitful for you and these topics are most important for your examination point of view. So hope you like this lecture and please stay till end of the video, because you are stay till the end of the video you are going to very enjoy this video. Okay, so now let's start topic. This is your first lecture from the climatology section. Okay, and we'll discuss in upcoming days all these topics one by one. Okay, so after you can say climatology will start the geomorphology and you can say physical geography section. Okay, so before understanding this climatic classification of the world, there is need to you can say understand all these topics whatever given there: ITCZ, Coriolis force, and pressure belts, and Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so actually what does mean ITCZ? What is the meaning of this particular term ITCZ? So if we talk about the ITCZ, this is the actually convergence zone of two winds. Okay, so actually the full form of this term is intertropical convergence zone. So if you are going to take this term, particularly ITCZ, you need to understand what is term. So actually I'm going to see you this topic. Okay, so this is your earth and 90 degree, 60 degree, 30 degree, 0 degree, 30 to 60 and 90 degree. Okay, so these are the pressure belts actually. So these are the pressure belts and this high pressure and low pressure is dividing you can say the on the basis of the thermally and on the basis of the dynamically. Okay, so one thing is need to cover to you. This is your, if there is a high temperature, wherever there is a high temperature there will be a low pressure, wherever there is a low temperature there will be a high pressure. So this is your inversely. Why? Let's understand this topic. So actually let's suppose this is your sun and incoming short solar radiation is falling down on the earth, and in this particular earth region, in this region there is a air. If there is an air, due to a lying of the sun's rays, this air getting heated. If this air getting heated, due to this air molecules will start moves. If the molecules of this particular air is present in this area start move, then it start raise because of the expansion. Okay, so this is the raising of the air where there is a high temperature area. If there is a sun's rays is lying vertically in this area, there is a air present here, and due to heating up of the air, whatever is present in this area, heating of the air, and due to this expansion of air, and after this the molecules of air, or you can see the air will raise towards upward. Okay, when this air raise upwards, so this in this remaining area there will also the air, and this air will be cold air and cool air. So then after raising of this air there will be an empty region. If there is an empty region, if there is a, you can say, a null region, after that this air is trying to covering this air. What I'm trying to say, this air is trying to cover, and you can say fill of this area because of the shifting of the air upward in this area. Why? So this is the reason behind it. Why? If there is a high temperature there will be a low pressure. Why low pressure? Because of the getting heated of the air molecules, the air molecules will start move toward upward. Okay, so towards upward. If air molecules are getting a move towards upward, so this area will be empty. So in this area there will be a formation of the low pressure. Okay, so this is the particular reason behind it. Okay, so now firstly please understand, if there is a high temperature area there will be a low pressure, and if there is a low temperature area there will be a high pressure. And always remember, the winds and the liquid always move towards high pressure to low pressure area. Okay, so these are the basic term of the geography, and you can say of the climatology. So actually what is ITCZ? I am trying to show this figure. So this is your 0 degree. So at 0 degree this is the position of equinox. So what is equinox? Equinox is where the sun's rays lying vertically over the equator, or you can say over the near the equator. So 5 degree north to 5 degree south, there is a sun's rays falling down directly vertically over the equator or near the equator. So near the equator there will be a creation of the ITCZ. You can say there will be form of the ITCZ. What is ITCZ? Intertropical convergence zone. Okay, so now if the sun's rays is falling down over the equator, there will be a high temperature. Due to high temperature near the equator there will be a low pressure. Okay, so I've already told you what is the reason behind it. So near the equator there is a high temperature. Due to this high temperature there will be a low pressure. Okay, so and 30 degree north and 30 degree south. So on 30 degree north there will be a subtropical high pressure, and also 30 degree south there will be a subtropical high pressure. So what is the reason behind it? High pressure is creating near the 30 degree north and south. This reason is actually this is the dynamically induced. Okay, so what is thermally induced, what is dynamically induced? I'm going to trying to understand this topic actually. So what is thermally induced? Let's understand this topic. Thermally means there is temperature. So if in any area there will be creation of the, and you can say there will be formation of the high pressure and low pressure. So if this high pressure and low pressure is creating due to the, you can say, high temperature and a low temperature, there will be these pressure belts, or you can say this area will be thermally induced, because there will be a formation of the high pressure and low pressure due to the temperature. Get my points or not? If in any area there will be a formation of the high pressure and a low pressure due to the movement of the air. If there is a movement of the air, due to this movement of the air there will be a formation of the high pressure and low pressure. So in this situation we are going to call this situation as your dynamically induced. So if any pressure belt is dynamically induced, so there will be a, you can say, circulation of the air, and you can say movement of the air. So actually there are 7 pressure belts on the earth. Okay, you can count down all these. Okay, so there are 7 pressure belts, and there are 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 pressure belts are dynamically induced. Which 4 one? 60, 30, 30, 60. Okay, so 30, 60 north and south, these pressure belts are dynamically induced, and high pressure and low pressure create due to the raising of the air, and you can say subduction of the air. Getting my points or not? Okay, so actually a 0 degree, this is a thermally induced. So remaining 0 degree, 90 degree north and 90 degree south, if there is a formation of the low pressure and high pressure, there is always due to the temperature. Okay, so on the poles there will be a less sun's rays. So also you can say here is if less sun's rays are there, so that means the high pressure zone is there. So high pressure and polar high pressure 90 degree north and 90 degree south. If we talk about the 0 degree, so 0 degree in the equinox situation, the sun's rays directly fall down on the equator, you can say over the equator. So also this 0 degree is thermally induced, and due to high temperature, because the sun's rays is falling down directly over the equator. So because of this situation, because of the high temperature over the equator, in this equator area there will be a formation of the low pressure. Get my points or not? So I've already told you that the winds move towards high pressure to low pressure. So near the 30 degree north and near the 30 degree south there is high pressure, and near the equator there is low pressure. So remember one thing, wherever ITCZ present, always remember, wherever ITCZ present there will be a high temperature always, and you can say there will be a low pressure. Why? Because convergence of the air is always occurring in the high temperature area. Getting my points or not? Okay, so 30 degree north and 30 degree south, from these areas the winds trying to move high pressure to low pressure. Why? Because near the equator, or you can say 0 degree, there is a low pressure, and near the 30 degree south and 30 degree north there is a high pressure. Okay, so movement of the air will be 30 degree south to 0 degree, 30 degree north to 0 degree. So just you have one question, that sir, why this air is moving like this direction, why it's not going to straight? Okay, so reason behind it is your Coriolis force. So I've already told you all these topics are interlinked. If you're going to understand one thing, you would have to understand, you have to learn all these topics are interlinked. Get my points or not? Okay, so now let's talk about the Coriolis force. So actually what is Coriolis force? So we have already covered thermally induced, dynamically induced, and ITCZ. What is ITCZ? Where the air convergence, where the air converge, this area is called as your ITCZ, intertropical convergence zone, and it found between the tropics. Okay, so 30 degree north to 30 degree south it found. Okay guys, so now let's talk about the Coriolis force, why this wind is deflect from this path. Okay, so what is the reason behind it of this deflection of this air, you can say air. Okay, so now let's learn about the Coriolis force. So actually due to rotation of the earth is rotating west to east. So earth is rotating like this. Okay, so due to rotation of the earth there is a formation of the force. Actually Coriolis force is not a force, this is the deflection of the, you can say, direction of the air and the direction of the liquid. Okay, so this is not your force, so it always deflect. Okay, so what is the reason behind it? So let's process of this Coriolis force. So actually this area is your you can say this is your low pressure near equator, this is your high pressure near the 30 degree south. Okay, so I'm trying to show you this southern hemisphere, and after that I'm trying to show you this northern hemisphere. Okay, so from 30 degree south to 0 degree, if there is a movement of the air or if there is a movement of the wind, so due to this due to the Coriolis force, this air of direction will be deflected. Okay, why? So always there is a force. So actually this, in this side, in this you can say in this direction, in this direction, and you can say 90 degree. So at the 90 degree angle there will be a force. This is called as a Coriolis force act on the wind direction. So wind is moving in this direction, and Coriolis force will act on this direction at the 90 degree. Okay, why? And in southern hemisphere this is always acting left, and in northern hemisphere this will be always acting right side. Get my points or not? So you have already teach that vector situation. So the, you can say, resultant wind are also moving in this direction. Wind direction is in this direction, wind is moving in this direction, and Coriolis force act in this direction at 90 degree. Okay, so wind direction, you can say resultant wind direction will be in this direction. Getting my points or not? Now let's take a northern hemisphere. So northern hemisphere there is a 30 degree and 0 degree, and wind is trying to move high pressure to low pressure area. If there is a wind trying to move high pressure to low pressure area, then this wind will deflect. Why? Because this is trying to going in this direction, because high pressure to low pressure winds are moving. Okay, so the Coriolis force will act in this direction. Okay, so if you are sitting here, and if you see this act always right side in northern hemisphere. So what is Coriolis force? Coriolis force is the deflection force of the wind direction or the liquid direction. Getting my points or not? Okay, and Coriolis force originate, and you can say form from the rotation of the earth. If earth rotates, stop. Okay, so the earth stop the rotating, the Coriolis force always be negligible on this surface. Getting my points or not? And Coriolis force act in northern hemisphere in the right hand direction, and Coriolis force will be act in the southern hemisphere in the left hand direction. Okay, so if there is a acting of the Coriolis force in this direction at 90 degree, always remember Coriolis force always act at 90 degree. Okay, so the resultant wind direction going to in this direction. Okay, so this is the reason that winds is moving like this. Why these are not moving like this? Okay, due to Coriolis force these winds are deflected. Okay, so due to this these winds are moving like this, and this region is called as your convergence zone. Okay, so intertropical convergence zone. So I think you are getting my points. So actually Coriolis force I've already told you what is Coriolis force. Pressure belts, I've already told you what are the pressure belts. There are 7 pressure belts on the earth surface, and 4 are the dynamical induced and 3 are the thermally induced. And what are the planetary winds actually? So you are seeing these winds are moving on the earth surface, and you can say on the planet. So whatever winds are moving on the planet, whatever winds are blowing on the planet, these winds are called as your planetary winds. Okay, so actually Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. What is Tropic of Cancer and what is Tropic of Capricorn? So if this is your fact based question. So Tropic of Cancer is your 23.5 degree north, and Tropic of Capricorn is your 23.5 degree south. Okay, so all these topics I've covered. Getting my points or not? Or equinox, what is equinox? What is the situation of equinox? When the sun's rays directly fall down over the equator, this situation is called as your equinox. Okay, so this is saying when ITCZ stay near the equator, that's why the equator from low pressure. So due to high temperature there will be also low pressure. Okay, so this sentence is trying to say this topic. Okay, so guys, in this video I'm going to stop. Okay, so in next video we are going to discuss further whatever topics are there. Thank you. Please like the channel, subscribe the channel. Thank you. Bye.